If you do any coaching, consulting, strategy with clients, you need to be using AI. And if you're not using AI, you might as well just pack it up. You are a dinosaur. You don't matter anymore. I'm sorry. That's the hard truth, but I'm going to give it to you real here. Now, if you're interested in that, if you're ready to use AI, I'm going to show you how to actually automate your strategy. You're going to let your clients send information directly to Chat GPT and create your entire strategy. I'm gonna show you how to do that in this video. If you don't have 10 minutes to watch this video, then you might as well go eat oatmeal with like Joe Biden or something. But if you are ready to accelerate your business, grow into some new strategy, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's go. What if I didn't, what if I used Zapier, Chat, and Chat GPT as the consultant, as the brand strategist, and then I can just hop in on the back end or have anyone hop in on the back end and shoot the video, right? Because, y'all know that if you're doing consulting, coaching, marketing work, sometimes that can take an immense amount of time. Basically, this workflow is the customer, who's already paid in this case, fills out a Google form, ChatGPT generates a list of the videos that they need. It outlines the video and it writes the script for the video as well. And then, as you can see, the final step here is it will actually generate an email to that customer saying, here's the script, here's all the information, make any revisions or ask any questions as you see fit. In a perfect world, the person looks at it and says, that's great, let's go. The form is pretty simple. What's your business? Why is it important? What's your mission statement? Who do you serve? Why is it better? What certifications you have? And I'll probably add more questions to this as I get a better feel for how I want those videos to look, right? We start with, here's the form. So I find the form, sync that up. Then I send the conversation to ChatGPT. Here's all the answers to all their questions, right? So what do we do better than anyone else? Then I just find that, one of the things I couldn't get to go. So let me just edit this real quick. It's probably easier to kind of see the back end here. But so one of the questions I wanted to add on the back end was like, what unique certifications, awards, licenses, degrees do we have? Because that's a good differentiator. That establishes credibility. I feel like that's something I'd want to have included in the videos. So I added that in kind of after version 5. So, and then you can see what I do is I just write the question or that part of the form. And then the answer I find, because I've synced up the form here, I'm using model GPT-4, which previously wasn't available. This is new, being able to use GPT-4. The other thing that I noted, by the way, is previously when I tried to use ChatGPT to generate responses, it was limited. It would cut off like halfway. It would only do like 750 words or something like that. Now it's given me much more robust, comprehensive responses, which is a huge win, right? All right, cool. So I'm using ChatGPT 4, and then here's the answers, or here's all the information from the user input, the user message, because we're starting a conversation. This is the type where we're starting a conversation with ChatGPT.
All right, Mark, can I ask a question?
Please.
If you go back up, just because I haven't done this yet. Where you put like name, email, website, and colon, did you actually type that in? Yeah.
I typed in name, colon, and then this is the answer, right?
Yeah.
So when you click in the box, because I've synced up the Google form, when I click in the box, it gives me the option to select that particular response in the Google form, right?
Okay.
But yes, I typed this in.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, the way, when we use ChatGPT, basically what we're doing is we're starting, this is, again, I'm using the option of creating a conversation in ChatGPT. So what I'm trying to do is get ChatGPT primed with the information and with the best instructions in this prompt, right? And so the better the input I get from the form, also the better the input I get from the customer, the better this is going to turn out. And in some cases, I might even fill this out on my own if I have a conversation with a customer and I feel like I have a kind of a good understanding of what they do, or if I have an onboarding quiz or questionnaire, all that information is relevant. I mean, because how often do we stare at a blank screen? Like, where do I start? Well, now I just answer the questions and ChatGPT gets it all started for me. The goal being we get it as close as possible to finished product. So we type in manually and then we find the form answer. And then what I did down here, and this is a few iterations that I went through to get here, but then I go to assistant instructions. This is where I'm priming Chat GPT. I'm giving Chat GPT as much specific information about how I want that response to be, how I want that response to look. This is what I would consider the prompt engineering. You are an expert marketer specializing in building business brands with video. When I submit information to you on my business, I want you to review the data, website, and the internet to help me build outlines for videos I should record. These videos are designed to help prospects, customers feel comfortable with my business, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I'm kind of putting together this special package, and I want to try to get the workload down as low as possible. So I sign the, my salesperson signs them, I sign them, I have them fill out the form, and I show up at their business the next day. We record, boom. So the first version I got, and again, this is the result. A lot of text here. So this is the result. It starts out with all of their answers. These are all the answers that they put in. Again, the formatting's not great, so I kind of cleaned that up a little bit over time. But the first result was this: video 1, meet TSS Photography, SFLA. The goal is to introduce the company, its specialty, and the people. Here's your brief outline. But the problem that I had, because I had prompted it, I said, hey, I want a 90-second video. I want the video to be 90 seconds long. But it only gave me enough words for like a 30-second video. So it took a little bit of massaging. So these were the results that I got from my first. And again, what I want is I want to have 5 videos I can record that are 90 seconds long, plus like 10 punchy, quick social media style videos, right? And these are some ideas like debunking myths about professional event photography, or 5 ways to keep your memories alive, or, again, a little generic, but not bad. So then I went into version 2, and I changed the prompt from, instead of 90 seconds, to give me scripts that are 200 words long. It still didn't do it. So it's kind of fighting me a little bit, right? Because this script is not going to take 90, it's not 200 words. It's more like 70 words, right? So in 3, I did a couple things, so I changed the script language to, it must be between 180 to 220 words. And I also turned down the temperature a bit. In case you're not familiar, what the temperature means is it's how much leeway, how much creativity do we want to give Chat GPT? And it's one of the options here. It says we can choose a number between 0 and 2. Higher values like 0.8 will make the output more random. Lower values like 0.2 will be more specific, more focused, more deterministic. So I kind of continuously turned down the temperature till it gave me a more specific response. I felt like when I was up, it started at 1, and it was just giving I felt like ChatGPT was kind of like giving ideas that it wasn't giving me exactly what I wanted, basically. So I turned the temperature down. I asked it to be more specific, and I was still struggling. I felt like the responses were still a little more generic. So I said, let's go a level deeper. I turned the temperature down even more, and I used more specific language. I use words like, give me a detailed outline and a script for each video. These video scripts are between 180 to 220 words. And I also asked it to speak in the first person, because previously it wasn't giving me scripts in the first person. It was giving me scripts like, meet Rachel. Rachel is blah, 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 blah. But I want it to be the owner who's actually speaking the video. So first person. And I also added, list any additional videos we should consider to help customers make an informed decision to buy. I felt like the scripts got better. They were still a little bit on the short side, but we were getting closer. And it still gave me that meet Rachel. It's like, why are you fighting me, ChatGPT? So, and again, I think when we're doing this, there's a bit of like, keep iterating until we get what we want. And then in the final version here, what I ended up doing, instead of asking ChatGPT to give me the outline, I actually gave ChatGPT the outline of how the video should look, right? So for example, I said for the first video about the company, it should follow this format. Introduce the company, the market we serve, any awards, certifications, unique accomplishments, an emotional appeal to why our business is superior to competitors, and anything else you would feel valuable, right? So I was more specific about how I wanted ChatGPT to lay out that video. And frankly, as the expert in our field, I think that we should be telling ChatGPT this, to an extent. So, and this gave me, I think, by far the best response. Okay. First, it's giving me the first person. So, hi, I'm Rachel, the owner of TSS Photography. We specialize in sports, school, and event photography. We've been proudly serving the Southeast Florida region for 20 years, and now we're moving to Southwest Florida. Our mission is simple. We capture special moments so you can live them. We've been recognized for our unique accomplishments, like our mobile ordering and face-finding technology. But what truly sets us apart is our commitment to you, our customer. We believe in the power of memories. We're dedicated to preserving yours in the highest quality because your moments deserve more than just a snapshot. They deserve TSS photography. I think that's like a pretty solid script for an About Us video.
Agreed.
Like, we could make some tweaks here and there, but like, that's almost good to go at that point, I think. And again, it is giving me first person. So I got all the first person. It gave me the, about the company, about the founder, about the customer, how our service works, and why choose us. Those are like 5 videos that every business would want to have, right? And then it also gave us 5 additional potential videos like testimonials, a day in the life, behind the scenes, how we process and deliver, the story about why we're expanding to Southwest Florida. I think that's pretty compelling. And I could have said, give me 10 potential video suggestions, or 20, or 40, or 100. So I don't even need to do the thinking there. The customer and ChatGPT are doing all the thinking for me, And then it gave me these 10 potential videos. So like, I feel like with the way this form is set up right now, I mean, how much time do you think it would take for you to try to build out these scripts and all this by yourself, or do like an hour-long consultation with a customer and get this type of information? It's like half a day.
Even just having ChatGPT write the scripts for you in the format that you have already instructed it to, with all the other information and consolidating it all and having an intention behind it, just that, right, is valuable.
100%. And by the way, Dan, something I found interesting is I had the problem, the scripts in all the first 4 were like pretty mediocre, but as soon as I told ChatGPT how I wanted video 1 to be formatted, it went ahead and it applied that concept to all the videos. So all the scripts were kind of written in that type of format, and they were reaching the right duration of the video that I wanted. So anyway, I was like, okay, this is a good result. This is a good result. I'm happy with this response. This looks good. How can I take this a step further? Well, the next step I did was say, hey, let's go ahead and let's not stop there. Let's send an email to the customer too with how it's going to look, because I don't want to show up on record day and then kind of go through a bunch of revisions on the script. I don't want to do that. I want to get it done before. I want to show up, hit record, and frickin' go. And so then I said, hey, Chat, let me show you how this looks. I asked it to create a draft in Gmail. Now, mind you, I could have just had it, I could have it send the email automatically. I could have it forward the email to an assistant of mine. I could, I could generate a message in Slack. There's infinite things I could do. But I said, hey, let's generate a draft in Gmail. And so this is what it looks like here. So all I need to do is kind of type in who it goes to. So it says, thanks for filling out the video branding form, Rachel. I'm confident these videos will build your brand, warm up leads, and lead to more sales. Based on your answers, here are the videos, outlines, and scripts we should record to achieve this goal. Please take a moment to review, revise, and ask questions so we can make sure our recording time is as productive as possible. By the way, as I'm thinking about this, I could automate this even more. I could automate it to a point where as soon as someone makes a payment in Stripe or through a landing page, it automatically sends the form. Once they fill out the form, it automatically sends the email. You could automate almost all of this. Hey, congratulations on making it this far. If you watch this tutorial, you in the top 1% of the 1% of future forward-thinking consultants. AI is going to change the game. If you're into that, make sure that you subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment if you've got any questions on how you can actually use this. Or if you get stuck, leave a question below, and I'll see you in the next video, all right? Peace.